Hello survivors, and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video. And in this video we're going over a new event coming to the game called Brute Force. This is part of the wider Outlanders Allegiance Mythic Trial, and this is to get your hands on Brutus copy number 2. And in this one it's going to be mainly about level up tournaments, but there is going to be some extras on top with missions and road maps, so you don't have to worry too much if you're not too much into the level up tournaments. Just think of how it was with the raid tournaments. You didn't have to place amazingly well to actually do well to get Brutus. It's pretty much going to be the same sort of deal here with Brutus number 2. We'll get into the information, and we can see the event starts today, the 23rd of June at 5 PM Pacific time, and it ends on the 30th of June at 5 PM Pacific time, lasting a week for the entire thing, and an extra 24 hours for that stash to end if you want to claim those last remaining claims in the stash, basically, with your tokens. There are other things you can claim with the tokens. We'll break down the rewards in a second. It says the second mini event for the Outlanders Mythic Trial begins with Brute Force. Players will collect Bear Paw tokens to open Brutus's stash. The two-part stash will reward gear, trainers, gear medals, chance bags, an exhaust resist attack set Paragon mod, and Brutus shards. Find the full Brutus stash contents below. Bear Paw tokens can be acquired from the daily recurring roadmap, the Brute Force Sniff Them Out missions, and from rank rewards for 3 level up tournaments. It does say, please note, Brute Force event runtime has been shortened to prepare for our upcoming 4th of July event. So it does still last a week long, and I would have assumed it would have lasted a week long because the first mini event did last that long. But it is giving us a little hint that there is a 4th of July event on the way, so something to look forward to there. When it comes to the level up, say it's going to be a part of, it's going to be part of the one that starts today on the 23rd and then ends on the 26th. The faction level up is actually going to include it as well on the 26th to the 28th, and that's going to be the weekend one. And then on early next week, we're going to have the 28th to the 30th, basically, as the next one when it comes to the 3 level ups. It's pretty simple. Solo, faction, solo, kind of standard as you would assume. We have got the first solo coming up, and you can see you can get 10 tokens. I will tell you it's 25 tokens required to open the very first stash, and you can get 10 tokens for coming first, 7 for second to third, scales all the way down to 126 to 1,000th where you get 1 token. Then you've got the faction rewards doing pretty much the same deal, 10 for first, and it scales all the way down to 26th to 50th again, and then we scale down some more, and then again for the next one it's the solo. So it's exactly the same rewards for the solos and for the factions, and this is where the tokens are going to come in. You can get a grand total if you manage to come in first in every single tournament here. You could get 30, and that will be enough to open the entire first stash plus 5 pulls into the second stash, of which there are 30 extra pulls there. There is a daily roadmap, and you can see in the top left hand corner it does say day 1 up here, just so you're clear. I didn't see this the first time I read it, and I thought the entire thing was a daily roadmap. It's kind of crazy that way, but you can see in the bottom right hand corner at the end of every single roadmap you get 2 Bear Paw tokens, and this is going to happen the same day. Like, this is day 2, day 3 exactly the same, day 4, day 5, day 6, and then day 7. The only difference is on day 7 you're going to see just an extra Bear Paw token pop up on the stage 7, not just stage 8 and act completion, and that means you are going to be able to get a grand total of 15 Bear Paw tokens from running this roadmap, just running this roadmap alone. And like I said, the first stash, which has the Brutus shards in, only has 25 opens required, so 15 of them in this roadmap. The next thing is the Sniff Them Out missions, and this is kind of like a little bit of fun, the hints, and you've got to work it out. I'm pretty sure that the info on this is going to be passed around quickly. People are going to work this out very quickly. I will make a video on this a couple of days in. I'll give people a chance to have some fun. I don't want to try and spoil it for people, but if you are, kind of in trouble and not working it out, don't worry. There will be some content up about it if you're really interested in just getting this done. There's 10 missions here. That means there's 10 extra tokens. We did have a little bit of a guesswork on what some of these things could potentially be. Like, some of them says it takes guts, for instance, and I kind of figured that it could potentially be you have to actually craft the guts in the workshop, or you have to use guts on a roadmap to stop the walkers from attacking you. Then I think it was Daylight said something about bear hugs could potentially be like friendly raids. So there's basically you can try and work it out, and if you're having trouble, there'll no doubt be people giving that information out. And if you're really having trouble, I will make a video, like I say, a little bit into the event. So that's another 10 tokens. So far that's 25 tokens from the roadmap and the missions combined. And guess what? The first stash, 1 bear paw token per open. And that is going to be a grand total of 25 tokens required to open the first stash. And you can see you can get 400 Brutus shards, 300 Brutus shards, 200 Brutus shards, and 100 Brutus shards in that first stash, making 1,000 Brutus shards. Your first copy, well, your second copy potentially, but your first copy from this event. And that is pretty straightforward to get. You only have to do the roadmaps and the missions. You'll get these other random mods too, and some of them are pretty good. Random attack set mods, random platinum mod box, silver mythics, so on and so forth, Madeline, Maddox. And you need these to max out Brutus anyway if you want to get the first edition. So this is actually pretty useful. You're going to get some military supplies. Don't forget, if you do fully max out Brutus for his actual mission to get the first edition, you get all of those resources back. I've seen some confusion with some people being a bit annoyed that you have to invest that many resources to get the first edition Brutus to only get like 5 unleveled copies of the character. You do get the actual gear back. Just scroll to the right, you'll see there's tons of gear. I have made a guide on how to get Brutus to LB3. It should be popping up in the top right hand corner right now, just to like guide you through if you need any help there. And then we've got the second stash, and there are going to be 30 opens here, and this is where you'd have to come first in every single level up to open this free to play, or you'd have to most likely buy some offers. There'll probably be some starter offers, you know, that offer like 5 to 10 tokens for a reasonable amount, and it's up to you whether you want to buy them, and you'll be able to get Brutus a little bit earlier that way. But I mean, it shouldn't be too bad. You're basically only going to save like 5, maybe 6 days in terms of if you buy one of those starter offers if you just want Brutus. But if you do want this Paragon mod up the top, and this Paragon mod could become really important. Right now it's okay, but in the future, if Exhaust becomes a big deal on defense teams, this is going to be vital for some characters, honestly. And Paragon is really good. That's going to be a 90% resist pretty much, and that means you're more than likely never going to get exhausted. On a character like Kenny, who basically is going to have heavy AP gain, that Paragon mod is going to be vital. Then we've got lots of chance bags. We've got Gold Mythic chance bags, Madeline plus Maddox chance bags, Bernadette, Blowtorch. So it's just going to have random amounts of these actual particular items. Gold Gear Medal chance bag. Then you've got actually solid amounts of Gold Gear Medals. Then a Silver Gear Medal chance bag. Then solid amounts of Silver Gear Medals. Then a Bronze Gear Medal chance bag. Then solid amounts of Bronze Gear Medals. And then a Steel Gear Medal chance bag. And then you've got solid amounts of Steel Gear Medals. It looks like the solid amounts are going to amount to around about the amount that you need to actually tier up a character, except for Bronze, Silver, and Gold. But with the RNG bag included, the base in that bag could potentially be 50. But you're going to get at least 500 still, which is the required amount to actually max out a character. So that's actually pretty decent. Then you're going to get some Mythic Gear choice boxes, and I have seen some people complaining about the RNG on drops on some road maps is pretty tough. So hopefully this helps you out. There'll be some ghillie suits and stuff in here as well. It doesn't look like too many. I think it's probably going to be this one, or actually it just says, all of them says Mythic Gear box choice box 1. So let's see what the rewards are in that little bit. Yeah, choice box contents. There is going to be a grey market claim. If you do have any extra bear paw tokens, you can get 1,000 gold mythic tokens. And okay, in Mythic choice box 1 is fire starters and ghillie suits, and there's a lot of them in the second stash. And then in the first stash, I think you get the first or the second crate, and there'll probably be like 10 to 16 of those in there as well. So that's how you can get some gear. Like I said, it's mainly going to be road map completion and missions. If you want to go for Brutus, your level up placements will mainly be a bonus, but it could get you a dent into the second stash. Now the Paragon mod is pure RNG, so you potentially could get off with 1 pull. You could get lucky. It's not likely, but it can happen. If your faction comes first in the level up tournaments, you will obviously have a better chance because you're going to get 10 pulls into that second stash. The better you do in the solo level up tournaments, the more pulls you'll actually get. So overall, this actually looks pretty decent, all things considered. There were some leaks of these tokens being in the level up placement rewards, and a lot of people instantly feared the fact that it could potentially mean you competing with your faction mates to get the Brutus, but it looks very accessible to be able to complete the first stash, and the second stash is just like I say, is mainly going to be bonus rewards. But that's me just looking at this little mini event, guys. If you have any thoughts about the event, please leave them in the comments down below. I want to thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.